After just a few short weeks, our tomato plants are ready to go into the ground. Apart from harvest season, this is one of the busiest times of the year. Our last frost date came early this year, and so it is time to plant anything.
Right, today we're planting out tomato plants. I've pulled the leaves off of this one. I started these later on purpose. They always catch up in growth, and so I just said, you know, I'm going to spend that time on starting some other starts instead of all on tomatoes, and that actually worked out really good. I've got lettuce going better than I've ever had it, and spinach and different things around the garden, so I'm glad I did that, and I will show you guys how fast they catch up. They are drying out fast in these little pots. By the time I water in the evening, they're dry already, so I know they're gonna take off being in the ground. And so normally I don't do the egg thing where you plant an egg with it, but I do have extra eggs, and I was gonna float test them, and I decided I'll just go ahead and use these ones for the tomatoes. So you just want to put an egg in the hole, and we'll chop it up. You can see I have this beautiful compost and soil that I am putting to grow these in. This is my best area of the garden. I did go ahead and outsource compost for this area a couple years ago, and just packed it like a foot deep, and so we haven't really had to add much to this soil. I do like to add like bone meal and blood meal where I plant the plants, but the soil's been doing really good. Alright, so we planted our biggest plants today. We're going to plant a few, probably like 10 every couple days, just so it's not so overwhelming. And so we've got this side pretty well planted out, and then next we're gonna do this side of it. You can see, I know I showed a video of how we set up the garden. We ended up changing it because we do have a goat. Where'd he go? He's over there on the other side of the house. And so we don't want to plant obviously up against his pen. We are getting him a buddy probably this week, and we know they will eat anything that sticks through. So we're gonna have a walkway through here, tomatoes here, and we're just gonna try to keep them trellised real close to the trellis, and what they can reach should be okay. So this here, where our buckwheat was growing, our cover crop, right through here is actually gonna be a walkway. So I'm gonna move this walkway over, and then we'll have a place to plant right here. And then this area right in here, that'll be a walkway too. And then next to that is a wide area of corn and potatoes. So we're gonna have it all filled out pretty soon, and it's all come together. Yeah. Okay. All right, Abby's helping plant tomato plants. Remember to pull the little suckers off.
Okay.
Yep.
Sucker.
She's got everything in her holes already, and she's just gonna put dirt around it. Let me help you crumble this dirt.
So just sprinkle, we just sprinkle.
Well, we're gonna build it up around his stem so he will grow more roots.
Hey.
There we go. That's looking good. Stack your pot. Awesome, you remembered. You're really good at getting those out of the pots.
Yep.
Okay, suckers.
Oh yeah. Sucker. Sucker Junior. What?
Yeah, it's funny.
Junior up. Stay up.
one hand. You can grab 2 hands so you could do 2 holes. One in each. Yep. There you go. We need 2 more for these down here.
While she gets these planted out, I wanted to speak about the things we're adding. So we have our own rabbits now, so we're using our rabbit manure as our nitrogen supplement. And so usually we would put blood meal, but this year we're just using the manure from the rabbits. And then we're using bone meal, which is just essentially ground bones and it adds calcium. And we're adding perlite, which is going to help with moisture because, like I said, our summers are very hot. We're going to mulch these heavily. We're going to do everything we can to keep them from being dry. If you've gardened to any extent, you know that soil health makes all the difference. So I noticed this year that having more cardboard in the beds really encouraged the worms to be there.
So what I'm putting in these holes today is I'm going to sprinkle this here because I want it mixed in. This is perlite that's going to help them keep moisture. We do live in the south, so moisture is definitely an issue. I'm going to do that trick with the 2-liter bottles this year, so I'll show you guys how that goes. But you put a 2-liter bottle upside down in the ground and it slowly drips water down to the roots, and we're going to try that to see if we can keep moisture better this year during those really hot months. Also, we live in a rural water district that is just off a lot, and so we've learned we have to have backup water for plants and things. And we're looking to go full, this is bone meal, we're looking to go fully on rainwater for everything, but right now we're just starting with the garden and things and trying to supplement where we can and make sure we have emergency water. So I have my little shovel here and I'm just going to break that egg up. And our tomato plants, you can see the roots are already big, so we're just going to plant them as deep as we can. I know they're tiny right now. And put this in. Oh yeah, so I have some rabbit manure here, and so I ran out of blood meal, and I really don't think I have to have it this time because my soil is so good, and I have this rabbit manure. So rabbit manure can be used immediately. We don't have to compost or wait for it to break down or mature. And we're just going to put the soil all around here. You don't want your leaves touching the soil. Okay, so see how it's kind of in a dip? I'm doing that on purpose so that whenever it grows up, I can go ahead and just hill it up, add some more dirt so that it can have a little more roots since we're planting them so young. And I made a little trench here in front of the tomatoes where they're gonna go, and I planted basil there. And then I have some onion starts that I just clustered in the garden in another area, and I'm gonna use those around the onions too. So we're gonna have a nice little trio going on here. So here's my trellising system for the tomatoes this year. I had this chain link and some T-posts. This chain link's pretty short, so I figured I would use it for these tomatoes. And once they get too tall for it, you can kind of just curve them over and my tomato plants usually get about 6 feet tall. Travis volunteered to help move over the walking space, so he's getting that moved over. The cardboard is falling apart on him, so he's just doing the best he can. It'll still help keep weeds out even if it's crumbling.